All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's King of Perpetual session. Now, this is our semifinal round, so we are down to only four traders left. So that's definitely pretty exciting. So basically, we started with kind of unlimited number of traders, meaning to say that anybody who has registered for the Deribit and Signal Plus competition were eligible to participate. And then we went to the round of 32, then the round of 16, then the round of four, and now finally we are in the semifinals. So, as mentioned before, this is our weekly trading session, and basically the two people will advance into the final round. Okay. Now, basically, before we kind of start thinking or going into the trading and what's kind of going on, I just want to give you some background in terms of what has happened previously, and how we are, let's say, ended up in this stage. So, as I mentioned earlier, this competition, this is King of Perpetual, and this is sponsored by Signal Plus and, of course, Deribit as a part of our space trading competition. Okay, and essentially in this specific competition, our main job is to, well, number one, trade only perps, right? So that's kind of understandable, but also the second thing is that the entry capital that you kind of put on the line, right, for you to trade, that part is reimbursable, meaning to say that if you lose the entry capital amount that you have, that's not an issue, because you we will cover any losses or any kind of issues that you might have. So this is the cool part. All right. And so, yeah, as I was saying at the beginning, I mean, we had our preliminary round, and then in the preliminary round, everybody who has registered for the Deribit and Signal Plus trading competition were welcome to join. And then we narrowed down to 32 people. Okay, so in the second round, which was called round of 16, we had the 32 people divided by multiple teams, and then the top people from each team, um, they were moved into the next round. And the difference between the first and the second round is that the first round, the preliminary round, was only 15 minutes, and the entry capital was very small, only 10 USDC. However, the second round, we had 30 minutes each round, and for the second round it was 50 USDC for entry capital. And then the round four, the round of four, which was last week, so that one was also 30 minutes, but the entry capital for that one was 200 USDC. Okay, now we are in the semifinals, right? So this is kind of like, this is the playoff, this is the big game, right? And right now we have four traders. So we have Homaball, we have 11, we have Jennifer, and we have Flight. So I see the first three traders have already started to trade. So we have Homaball, who is trading. I see that this trader is taking um, long and short positions on Algorand. Okay, so essentially we have the, let me see. So he's basically holding the asset for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, right? Like 10 seconds here, then here going long at 32, so 10 seconds. So taking very, very short trades, but the quantity, the position is pretty high, right? So as you can see, um, like the quantity that is being traded is pretty high. So this trader right now, the HOMABOL, is in the first place, currently sitting at about 7.3% up. And then in the second place, we have number 11, who is just above zero, so like half a percent up. And then we have Jennifer, who is down 13%. So that's quite a lot. And then we have one more trader, Flight, who hasn't taken the trade yet. But that's okay, because this round is actually different from the previous week, because this specific round is actually 45 minutes. Okay, so last week we only had 30 minutes, so this one is 45 minutes. So there's definitely plenty of time to to trade. So perhaps this trader, is still waiting to take the how to say, trading position. So let's give thumbs up. Maybe he or she will wake up, I guess. But yeah, so far so good. So okay, so I think in the last place we have Jennifer, who is down quite a lot, about 17%. But that being said, that's all good, because remember, any losses that the trader will incur, they will be covered. Now, what's interesting about this round is that this time around we have 1,000 USDC as the entry capital. So as you can see in this round, actually people can trade quite a substantial amount of money, right? And like, for example, in the HOMABOL specific situation, this trader is up 16%. So the profit is 160 USDC. So this trader just made 160 USDC in less than 10 minutes, right? In like 8 minutes. And the cool part about this is that even, like, for example, in Jennifer's case, this trader is down 22.5%, so 224 USDC. But actually, we're gonna, after the end of the round, depending on the final P&L, we'll reimburse it anyway, right? So this is all good, not a big issue. All right, so let's see. I mean, I see that the Flight is still waiting to make the first trade. Hopefully, they will make the first trade soon, but let's see. All right, so let's see what's being traded. So we have basically two traders, HOMABOL and Jennifer, that are trading Algorand. And again, in the pretty large quantities. And then we have one trader, which is 11, who is trading BTC. And as you can see, this trader is going short on BTC. So speaking of the market in BTC, I mean, right now BTC at almost 92,000. So it seems like it recovered from the last week, kind of. I mean, we're still obviously below 100K, so that's not good. We want to be above 100K. But that being said, while we might be below 100K, we're still up from the lows that we had just about a week ago at like 80, 82, 83. I mean, that was crazy, right? So this is kind of good news. I mean, let's see. Seems like in the last few days, like this weekend, and I think end of last week, it was kind of like range bound. We were kind of bouncing from 87, 88ish to like what we to the price where we are now, which is 92. Okay, so I see that the Flight has also taken a position, and this trader is going long on BTC, and right now about -1%. Well, what's interesting is that we have Jennifer, who is down a lot. So this trader is down 37%. Wow. So 370 USDC. So that's quite a bit. But that being said, for I guess the competition right now will be between the 11 and Flight, because HOMABOL, this trader right now is at 34%. I mean, to be honest, I don't really see 11 of light catching up to the 33%. Okay, 38%. Okay, so almost 40%. Um, but yeah, I think the final battle will essentially be between the 11 and flight, right? So let's see who's gonna take the gold. In the meantime, I just want to say a quick shout out to, of course, our ongoing there have been a Signal Plus competition. So we are still in the game. The competition is still, of course, ongoing. So in case you haven't joined yet, there is still a chance to do so. And of course, I would definitely encourage everybody who listens to this and participates to join, because we'll have a whole bunch of prizes. We have a whole bunch of things that to give away. And like I always say, it doesn't matter if you have a big account or a small account. I mean, of course, if you have a big account, that helps. I'm not gonna lie. But even if you have a small account, you can still qualify and participate in a lot of the prizes and giveaways that we have each day, right? So whether you are trading daily or if you're trading weekly, there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can win. We give away a whole bunch of things like the Unitree robots and Apple stuff, and we have like vacations and travel trips that you can take and participate in. So definitely a whole bunch of things that you can do. Wow, I see, look at this, Jennifer is down 50%, 500 USDC. That's crazy, man. And the same time we have Homable, who is up 43.5%, right, which is about 444 USDC. So this is just like shows that, and this has been like what, 15 minutes, right? Less than 15 minutes. So this is just shows like if you are using leverage, like leverage can be a good thing for you, but can also be like a very bad thing, right? So we have two opposites when people use leverage, and one is up 500 USDC, right, and the other person is down so much. So just kind of shows you that leverage can be dangerous. But I guess for a lot of people, it also can be addictive, right? It's almost like gambling. But here's the thing, again, in this specific competition, it doesn't matter, because even like, for example, in the Jennifer's case, right, she's losing money right now, but that money are reimbursable, right? So for this trader, I don't think they need to worry about this too much. All right, so far we have Homaball in the first place was like 51% off, which is crazy in 15 minutes, right? And then we have the two second spots, which is 11 and Flight, and they're basically near identical in terms of their P&L, just about 1% each. So this is definitely shaping up to be a pretty interesting turn of events. So definitely, let's see how it's going to play out. Wow. So let's see. We have Jennifer is 627 USDC down, and then we have on the other end we have Homable, who is up 560 USDC. So that's definitely quite a lot, right? Interesting to see, definitely. And then let me see. Yeah, so the first, okay, so we do have a little bit of difference between the 11 and Flight, because as you can see, 11 now is ahead with 1.3%, and then we can see that the flight is actually negative 1.6%. Okay, so they're recovering. So again, well, we still have 30 minutes to go, right? So a lot of things can still happen. So let's see how it goes. I mean, so far we have Homable in a very, very, very strong lead, and then we have Jennifer, who is on the opposite end in a very, very, very strong last place, right? So I think right now, basically, it's the battle between the 11 and flight, right? So let's see how those two end up doing. All right. So yeah, this competition, I mean, this round is pretty weird because this is the first time I see anyone who is up so much and who is down so much in such a short period of time. So it's like it's literally been just a little bit less than 20 minutes, and we have one person who is basically down 73%. And on the other hand, we have another person who is up almost 65%. And again, remember, it's been less than 30 minutes. It's been, yeah, it's been like less than 20 minutes. I don't know. It seems pretty crazy, right? And remember here, the amount, the capital that the traders put up is the entry capital, right? It's 1,000 USDC. So all these gains, like in the Homables case, all these gains are real. All right. So anyway, we still have a bunch of time. So before we kind of let's give our traders some time to trade and hopefully make some new positions, because I haven't seen too much action so far. But that being said, just to give a shout out to the Signal Plus and the Derby trading competition, and we have something what's called a perpetual arena. So essentially, for traders, like, if you guys are not very comfortable with options, it is primarily competition for options. But if you're just trading perpetuals, futures, perps, that's also fine. And we have a specific what we call a perpetual live arena, where we have daily, weekly kind of rewards for people who trading perps, like perps specifically, right? So let me just give like a 411, like a quick rundown for what we are doing. So we do have the live perp daily battle. I mean, we started this at the beginning of the competition, which was November 24th, 2025. And essentially, each day we have a leaderboard, right, where the perp traders can climb based on their P&L, right? Based on their daily P&L, right? So each day we will update the P&L for all traders, and then we post it on a leaderboard. Okay, and basically the period that runs is from 8 a.m. UTC to the 8 a.m. UTC of the following day, right? So 24-hour cycle. And essentially, and again, remember that this is based on the P&L, right? So, and essentially the top one trader wins 50 USDC each day, right? So if you are consistently trading and in the top one, or in the top, let's say, each day, then you have a very good chance to win some cool rewards, right? So the first place, the top trader, the top first, excuse me, the top first trader wins 50 USDC each day. Okay, so it's like almost free money, right? And then we have the 5 traders. So essentially, if you are top 20. So if your ranking is within the top 20, right? We will pick randomly. We'll pick 5 traders, and those 5 traders will get 10 USDC daily. So remember, basically in this case, this is the cool part, is that you don't have to be number one. Like even if you qualify and you trade and you're in top 20, right? And I mean, there are days, for example, where maybe there is not a lot of volume, not a lot of traders, maybe like a weekend or something where there's like not a whole bunch of traders, right? So even if your P&L is not that high, who knows? You can maybe, you can maybe still qualify, and you can be in the top 20. And again, based on that, you can win 10 USDC. It's basically like free money, right? Like I don't know how else to put it. Okay. And then again, remember that basically we are calculating, and you can see daily leaderboard. So this is very open. This is a very open and very transparent process, for us, right? And basically for eligibility criteria, so you have to make, any kind of trade, but it has to be perpetuals, right? So not options, not spot, perpetuals. And you have to do this obviously through Signal Plus and as a part of the Signal Plus and Deribit trading competition. So remember, if you want to qualify for any of this, right? Number one is that you have to be a participant in the Signal Plus and Deribit space trading competition. So this is the important part. And number two is that the trades they have to be made through the Signal Plus platform. Okay. And again, here we can take a look at basically what's the competition. So we still have 13 days to go. So remember, a whole bunch of days for you left to trade and win. So like I mentioned, we have the Unitree, cool like RoboDogs and things like this. So we have the individual competition, we have the team competition. So we have the King of Perpetuals. So this is what we're doing live, and basically this is the trade Perps daily, right? And so see here, we can see like our global ranking right now in terms of the total volume for individual competition, and then we have, of course, the team competition, right? And so remember, for the team competition, you're going to be part of the competition, but the key here is to have the most qualifying members. And so we can take it the weekly data, we can take it the daily data. So here's our Perps daily ranking. So like I mentioned, there is the leaderboard, right? And as you can see here, the top 10, right, P&L, it's not that much, it's not that high. So in some cases, like I said, your P&L, like your daily P&L doesn't have to be very high to qualify and to be in the top 20, right? So as you can see in these cases, like we have our, we have one person who is like 3,000, like P&L 3,000 up, right? And then we'll have a few more people who's like 300, and then we even have some people who are like basically just breaking even. So remember, one of the things that I mentioned is that you will qualify for some rewards, like daily rewards, if you are in the top 20, right? So this is the important part, and this is what I'm trying to say. It's basically free money. All you have to do is make few trades. Your P&L doesn't have to be like 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000. Even if your P&L in pennies, like 4 cents or whatever, you still have a chance to qualify, and have obviously qualify and have a chance to win the daily perp trading rewards, right? And this is very cool because again, if you're not super, how to say, super familiar with options, or for some people maybe who are just starting to trade options, but they're not necessarily putting a big amounts, like allocating a lot of capital to the option trades, that's perfect. Because if you're a trader, most likely that you are trading perps. And so if you are trading perps, we have a specific competition just for you, and not just one. Like I said, we have the daily perpetual arena, and of course we have this competition, which is the King of Perps, right, where we cover all your capital, or I'm sorry, at least like entry, well, where we cover all your entry capital that you are trading. And if you make any money in this competition, in the Kings of Perps, those are yours to keep, right? We're not going to take them away. So let me just give you an example. Like in this case, we have this user Jennifer, right? So I assume it's since this is a female, I would say it's a she. So this trader Jennifer, right? This trader, she's down 864 USDC, right? So she put in 1,000 of her own money, right? And now she's down almost everything, like 864, right? So she only has left 136, right? USDC, but no problem, because we will reimburse her for the full amount that is being that she lost, right? But for this HOMABLE, for this trader is up 762 USDC, right? So again, this trader put 1,000 USDC, and now this trader has a P&L or profit of 762. So guess what? That is his money to keep, right? So he's gonna keep the profits, all the profits. So at the end of this competition, like if we finish right now, I mean, we still have 17 minutes left, right? But if we were to finish right now, Jennifer will have 1,000 in her account left. It's exactly the same amount that she deposited. So remember, all these people, all these 4 people, they all deposited 1,000 USDC at the beginning of the hour, right, when we just first started. So at the end of the hour, this trader will have 1,000 in her account. This trader, if we stop right now, will have 1,004 USDC. This trader will have 1,012 USDC, and this trader will have 1,762 USDC. So this is kind of the point, is that you literally have nothing to lose, and you have a whole bunch of things to gain. So let's give some thumbs up to our traders. I don't know why 11 has no thumbs up. Let's give some more. Let's show them some love. Okay, I mean, Jennifer has already too much, so no need for that. And let's give one for Flight. For sure, he's, this trader is fighting a strong battle. But yeah, so this is kind of where we're at in terms of the competition, right? And what's cool is that next week we're gonna have our final. So let me take a sip of water, and I'll explain what we're gonna do in the finals. All right. So basically, as I was saying, next week we are going to have our final round. So basically, for the final round, what we are going to do is very similar to what we're doing right now, right? It's a battle, but there are a few key differences. Key difference number one is that in the final round will be 1 hour. So remember, this is 15 minutes, right? Oh, sorry, 45 minutes. Okay. The final round will be a whole hour. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, the entry capital, okay, will be 10,000 USDC. Okay. So that's a serious amount of money. All right. So imagine if in the final round, this user, HOMABLE, for example, does the same thing and has like plus 76.25% P&L. So it means that this user will earn 7,625 USDC. That's crazy, right? And nothing to lose, because if this user, for example, loses this 86%, okay, it means that in the final round, she will lose $8,645, right? Which is a lot of money, right? But again, it doesn't matter because that is all reimbursable. So whatever this trader loses, not like basically there is nothing to lose, right? The only thing that they will lose is basically the first place, right? Because if you are negative 86, 87%, then you're probably not going to take the first spot. And yeah, I mean, for Homoball, it seems like he is going to take the first place today in the semifinals. And so right now, basically, our fight is between the Flight and 11. So there is about 3% difference. And what's interesting, if you're looking at the strategies, right? Flight is basically going long on BDC, and 11 is going short on BDC, right? So similar amount of trades. I haven't seen any new trades, right? So for Flight, the last trade was almost 30 minutes ago. And for also, sorry, wait a second. No, that's my bad. For Flight, yeah. So at 8:14 now, I would say so about 20 minutes ago, a little bit less than 20 minutes. And then for 11, the last trade was actually just now. And okay, so he started shorting TRX. Interesting. This is an interesting move. Okay, so basically this trader has a bunch of, okay, so I see that, yeah, I see that he's been closing the shorts that he opened at the beginning, right? So as you can see at the beginning, there was a bunch of shorts. So I can see that he started not closing those shorts. And then he's entering the altcoins. So he started shorting TRX. Interesting move. And this is actually the first time that I see anybody trading TRX in this competition. All right. So I see a whole bunch of shorts on TRX. All right. So far, number 11 is at negative 2%. So hasn't been really paying off yet, but let's see. We still have 10 minutes to go. So not all is lost. I think this person still has a chance. Let's give them some thumbs up. I mean, yeah, Homoball is like way up in the in the sky. I think at this point, this trader just closed the positions, right? Because here we have a long position, and then here he closes this position, right? So now I think he's just sitting. I mean, I would probably do the same because, like, if you are at 76% positive, I don't really see any way to go up. And I mean, even if you do, it doesn't matter because you're definitely going into the next round, right? But on the downside, like if you make some trade and something happens, I mean, there is like some flash crash, or I don't know, you take like too much leverage, you're like going 100x or something, then you definitely has a chance to go down a lot. So I think in this case, there is really no point in going up or down. And I think this is a pretty smart move to just close all the positions and just take the W, right? Take the win. So the only two people right now left trading is basically Flight and 11. And yeah, we see that 11 is like now taking a lot of short positions on TRX. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, for Flight, okay, so there is still 3% difference, and I see that for Flight, I mean, basically the last long position was taking about 30 minutes ago, 31 minutes ago. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see how this plays out. Definitely interesting to see. We still have 9 minutes to go, so there is still time left. Okay, so here you can see all the perpetual live arena, basically what I was telling you about. the live rules, right? So as you can see, we have the top one trader wins 50 USDC each day. So remember, if you are trading, and I just showed you the leaderboard, it's not too bad. Like again, the P&L doesn't have to be like $1,000,000, right, or like $10,000. Even for some people, it's a little P&L. You can still be in the top 20, right? And the reason I say this, the reason it's important is that because you do get a chance. So you have 5 traders within the top 20 can get the 10 USDC, right? And of course, the rewards are calculated and distributed daily based on the official leaderboards, right? And this is like, yeah, this is one of the things that I mentioned, is that all trades must go through our platform through Signal Plus. Okay, so if you're making trades directly on Deribit, that's not going to count. If you want it to count, it has to be through Signal Plus traded on Deribit, right? So again, you connect your API and then you just um, you trade through the Signal Plus platform on Deribit, right? Um, and of course, only Perps revenue, because this is a Perp live arena, right? Daily Perp live arena. So only perpetual trading revenue will be counted. So we're not going to count, like if you're trading spot or if you try trading futures, we're not going to count it towards this competition, right? But remember, if you are trading futures, options, then you will qualify for other rewards, because I'm just talking right now about the perps. But it's not to say that you shouldn't trade, options or anything else. But for this specific competition, or for this specific part of the competition that we have, this is only for perps. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can take a look at um, some of the rules and eligibility criteria. And basically, this is where we are right now, the King of Perpetual. So like I mentioned, we had the preliminary round, and at the end we had 32 winners. Then we had 16 winners in the next round. Then we had 4 winners in the next round. And now we're here. Okay, so we're in the semifinals, and like I said, right now 45 minutes, so we have probably about 5 minutes left, maybe a little bit more. And this is our entry capital, 1,000 USDC, so quite a bit of money. But what I'm really looking forward to is the final round, which is going to be next week on December 15th. So the same time. The only difference is that it's going to be 1 hour, instead of the 45 minutes, right? And the most important part is that, oh my God, the trading capital is 10,000 USDC. I mean, like I said, just looking by today's craziness, that you have one person negative 80%, and then one person positive like 72, 73%, right? If the total trading capital, right, the entry capital is 10,000 USDC, then this is going to be crazy. This is going to be huge amounts. Okay. All right. Yeah. So here, basically, you can take a look at some of the explanation and how we do the ranking, and then profit and compensation rules, and then of course additional notes and participation requirements. So again, this event, I think it went pretty well. I mean, of course, it's still ongoing. We still have one more round left after today. But that being said, okay, so 11 now in the second place, and Flight is actually, yeah, I see the Bitcoin went down to by about 100. So all the longs that Flight had are now kind of, not really paying off. So yeah, we have 5 minutes left. That this is a pretty close battle. So right now, again, the difference between second and third place is about 4%, a little bit less, 3.5, 4%. Oh no, yeah, 3%, right? So who is going to take the second spot? I mean, the HOMABOL is definitely at number one. There is no doubt about that. But in the next 4 minutes, let's see what's going to happen, and let's see who's going to take the main spot. All right, so let's see. We're waiting for the next refresh. Okay, so really close. I mean, 11 is negative 1.83%, and flight is negative 2.09%. So literally like 20 basis points uh, difference, right? My God. All right, yeah. I mean, let's see how it goes. We still have 3.5 minutes to go. Let's give both some thumbs up. Let's give one for Homable. I think he has the least amount of likes, so let's give him some thumbs up. I mean, he did good. Let's give some to 11 too, and also to Flight. I mean, the battle is pretty close. I have an OCD, so I'm gonna make everybody's likes the same. So 36, 34, 35, 36. And let's give this guy also 36 likes. Okay, so Flight now again in the first, well, I should say in the second place with negative 1.9%, and then we have 11. And 11 been making a lot of trades, I see, basically shorting BTC. Flight is just, he made few trades. He went long on BTC again about 8 minutes ago or so. And what's interesting is that, yeah, 11 is shorting BTC. So basically, they have a kind of reversal strategy where one is very bull. Not, I don't. I mean, I shouldn't say very bullish, but bullish on BTC, and then the other one is trying to short it, thinking it's going to go down. But in any case, we still have 2 minutes to go. So quite. I don't want to say a lot, but a little bit of time left. So the lock can change, and I see that Flight is also now negative 1.56%. All right, just a little bit more than 1 minute left to go. So this is the big question. I mean, basically the difference between these two is about 50 base, like 0.5%, right? Between number two and number three. And remember that the first two are the one who will go into the final and will compete for the grand prize, and in our final competition was 10,000 USDC. So let's see if they can keep it up. We have exactly 1 minute left. All right, so 11 is narrowing down the lead. Let's see if this is gonna pan out in about 40 seconds. But for everybody who is listening, I mean, yeah, basically we are at the end of our road, and then next week we are going into our final round. Okay, so people who are basically trading and competed before in this competition or want to compete, perhaps we'll have a similar competition in the future. But everyone who is exciting, and especially those people who are trading perps, I think this is the first time we organize this kind of event. And I think it's going quite well. It's quite exciting to see a lot of action, a lot of people trading, a lot of people participating. So it seems like Flight is going to take the win. And of course, yeah, that's the end. All right. Well, again, thanks everybody for tuning. We are off until next Monday, and next Monday we are going to have the final round, where we have the real king of the perpetuals, I guess, in a way. So thanks everybody for tuning, and happy trading.